Thunder murmured in the far north, as if the sky itself breathed in anger. The dawn came pale and cold, gilding the peaks of Asgard with ghostly light. Frost clung to the great walls of that sacred realm, and even the gods could feel the chill of prophecy creeping through their bones. At the heart of it all sat Odin, the All-Father, in his golden hall, tracing runes on the arm of his throne. His ravens, Hugin and Munin, circled high above, whispering news from every corner of the worlds. When they landed, they spoke of omens, fires beneath the sea, shadows behind the moon, and a wolf's heartbeat that now echoed under the roots of the world tree. Odin frowned. The name came to his lips like a curse. Fenrir. The beast prophecy had chained, the child of Loki, the one said to devour even the sun. He turned to his son, Thor, the god of thunder, whose strength was legend among men and gods alike. Stormbringer, Odin said. The wolf stirs. If those chains snap, the end begins. Thor rose slowly, lightning twisted through the braids of his hair. Then I will stand where the end begins, Father. Odin said nothing more. Some fates cannot be denied. The Thunderer left his hall, and the sky darkened behind him. The rainbow bridge shimmered beneath his boots as he crossed it. Below lay the rippling colors of creation, flames, frost, light, and shadow, all woven together like threads in a god's tapestry. The storm followed him, though he willed it not. Clouds gathered, trembling at his passing. At the bridge's far end he paused, gazing down upon the lands of mortals, Midgard, where little fires burned in cottages, and the songs of human life rose faint but brave against the wind. They still whispered his name when tempest struck, Thor the protector, Thor who stands between men and monsters. He thought of those prayers as he lifted his hammer, Mjolnir. The weight of it was not in metal, but in duty. I do this for them, he murmured, even if they never understand the cost. Then he stepped from the bridge into the deep roots of Yggdrasil. Beneath the worlds there is no sky, no time, only the slow pulse of creation itself. Rivers of glowing honey light wound between black stones. The air tasted of iron and storm. And there, at the center, lay the gateway to the wolf's prison. The chains gleamed faintly, motions of silver and smoke, each link humming with enchantments forged by dwarves who no longer dared to speak their names. Within them stirred something vast, something older than rage. Thor called out, "Fenrir, son of Loki, show yourself." A rumble answered, deep as tectonic plates grinding. Then two eyes flared in the dark, liquid gold, staring through every layer of godhood straight into the heart beneath. "Thunderer," the voice said, and the earth itself seemed to move with it. "Have you come to strike a captive, or to learn why even the sky fears me?" Thor gripped his hammer tighter. "You know what you are destined to do." "Yes," the wolf replied. "But tell me, do you know what you are destined to repeat? You will fight until there is nothing left to defend, then die believing you preserved balance." Its words cut deeper than claws. For a moment, the lightning around Thor faded. "You speak as if you pity me." "I pity any being who has never chosen his own path." For long heartbeats, neither moved. The silence between them stretched like the breath before thunder. Finally, Thor asked, "If I freed you, would you prove my mercy false?" The wolf's chains rattled softly. "I would seek truth before blood. If truth demands blood, it will have mine as well." Thunder cracked, part doubt, part revelation. Slowly, as if guided by something older than will, Thor lifted Mjolnir. The weapon shimmered, filled with the weight of storms and ages. When it fell, creation itself seemed to flinch. Light poured through the cavern. Sparks turned to rain. The impossible chains shattered, dissolving like mist in sunlight. And for the first time since the dawn of the gods, Fenrir stood unbound. He stepped forward, taller than the great hall of Odin, wings of shadow rippling around his shoulders, but his voice was low. "Freedom tastes of fear," he said, "even for gods." Thor lowered his hammer. "Then use it well." Above, Asgard shuddered. Raven calls filled the air as Odin felt the shift ripple through all 9 realms. He whispered, "My son has broken destiny, or perhaps merely loosened its hinges." Down in the mortal world, winds picked up over sleeping villages. Dogs barked to the empty woods where unseen paws passed softly by. In dreams, shepherd boys saw a golden-eyed guardian driving off frost giants from the mountains. Seasons rolled over one another. Fenrir did not destroy. Instead, he roamed the edges of Midgard like a great shadow, keeping darker shadows away. And Thor, for the first time in an age, rested. He watched over humankind not with thunder, but with patience. But peace, in any realm, is but the eye of a larger storm. Beneath the deepest sea, something stirred, the serpent Jormungandr, unraveling from its eternal coil. Its body was as wide as mountains, its scales flashing green fire. Venom bled into every ocean current, rising as black mist. Fish died, ships vanished, the moon itself darkened at its reflection. Fenrir felt it first and howled, one long cry that shattered stillness across the worlds. Thor heard and rose. Mjolnir burned once more in his hands. He climbed to the edge of the heavens where storm and sea collided. "Old friend," he said softly to his hammer, "once more." He plunged downward through collapsing clouds. Lightning flared along his path like the veins of gods. The serpent met him with a roar that split waves like torn cloth. Sea rose to meet sky. Thunder rolled through water. Lightning tangled with venom in an explosion of color mortals could not name. For hours, or perhaps days, time was meaningless. They fought. Each strike of Mjolnir sent tides surging. Each lash of the serpent's tail shattered islands. The world tree trembled, shedding leaves like falling stars. Finally, Thor drove his hammer through the creature's skull. The serpent convulsed, and wrapping him in its dying coils, venom filled the air. Out of the storm, the gods heard one last thunderclap, and then silence. Both lay still. The storm drifted westward, fading until only rain remained. Fenrir reached the shore days later. He found only waves and sky. For the first time since creation, the wolf lowered his head and wept. His cry rolled outward, through Asgard, through Midgard, through the branches of Yggdrasil, and even the stones listened. Odin felt it in his hall and placed a hand over his last remaining eye. He said, "So it comes to this. Mercy creating hope, hope demanding sacrifice. My son, you have broken the chain that bound even fate itself." Centuries passed, or an instant, for gods measure time differently. The fires of Ragnarok burned themselves clean. New grass rose where the embers cooled. Rivers forgotten by men began to sing again. Mortals built new homes, then new myths. They spoke of thunder not as fury, but as promise. Children pointed at the clouds when storms rolled in and said, "Thor is watching." And when wolves howled in the distance, their elders answered, "He runs not to hunt, but to bard." Through ages uncounted, When tempests gather and lightning brightens the peaks, the image sometimes appears, a hammer of light across the sky and a shadow of a wolf beside it. Some call it coincidence, others call it memory, but those who still carry the old blood know the truth. Even gods can learn mercy. Even prophecy can change its shape. And somewhere, forever, beneath cloud and thunder, a great wolf keeps watch over a world born again. The wind quiets, the air grows calm, thunder fades to a distant heartbeat. The tale ends, but the storm, like honor and remembrance, never sleeps.